What is going on, guys? Now I want to do this video talking about something that I think is a really important topic to talk about, because I get a lot of questions based on this. People always want to know, why did you buy the V6 Camaro? Why didn't you buy a V8? Why didn't you get the SS? Why would you go for the second best, or I guess not really second best, the first place loser or the lowest Camaro on the totem pole? Why would you go for the V6 when there's a V8? And I wanted to actually do a video response and tell people why I bought my car, the reason why I got the V6 over the V8. Now I do want to say really quickly, I did get the idea to do this video based upon another YouTuber, MeandMineTV, so I'll leave his link in the description below. But I do want to say I did get the idea to do this video based upon watching his video. So I want to give credit where credit is due. Now, the first reason why I bought my car was I wanted to learn the rear-wheel drive manual transmission platform. Now, when I say that, I mean that as in, I come from a motorcycle background when you talk about like performance driving. So I come from a much more like a motorcycle background. So I'm going to just compare it to motorcycles. Normally when you start off on a 250 or, you know, like a 500, something like that. You start off on a lower grade bike to learn the platform, learn how to handle it, learn how to control it. You know, not everyone. Some people start off on 600, some people start off on liter bikes, some people just jump right into it, but not everyone. You know, you're normally supposed to start off on a 250, and using that same logic for cars, I want to be able to drive my car proficiently and be able to drive it in a performance manner and actually be able to control the car and drive it well. Face it, there's a lot of people out there who have, you know, the biggest and baddest cars, but they can't go around a corner or they can't really control it. And that's why you see a lot of people spinning out, getting into car accidents, you know, trying to do something that is well beyond their own limits, and they're pushing the car well beyond their own limits, and they do something really bad and they get themselves into trouble. Going back to the motorcycle analogy, you start off on a 250, you learn that. Once you learn that platform, then you can move up, you know, to a 600 or liter bike or whatever else you want to, you know, go into after that. But you got to take some baby steps. I think this is similar to, you know, when people, they start off, you know, people that buy a Miata or like a BRZ or something like that, something with a little bit lower horsepower, but it's the rear-wheel drive, the manual transmission platform. It gives you something to really learn on and learn how to handle the car in different conditions like rain, snow. If you're going to be driving it on a track, it's a good platform to learn on. And I took that same logic when I was thinking about buying my car. I was saying, oh, maybe a V6 will be perfect for that. Something that still has a pretty good amount of power, but it's not, you know, the 400 something horsepower monster, because I want to drive my car and drive it well, and I want to be able to take my car to the track and drive it well on a track. I'm not really into drag racing, so, you know, super high horsepower, that's not really my thing, even though who doesn't like high horsepower. But I'm much more of, I want a balanced car. But then again, you know, a Camaro isn't really known for being a balanced car, especially this generation. But the same type of logic applies. I want to learn something that I can use on, you know, in the street, take it to a track and learn it well. And also that this is my first time owning a manual transmission car, I wanted to be able to learn it, you know, on the street, on the track, and just be able to handle it, I guess, if that makes sense. So, I don't know. I don't have a big ego, so I'm not one of those guys who's going to go off and say, hey, I need to have, you know, the V8, the biggest, the baddest, the fastest, the quickest. It's always going to be someone else out there who's got deeper pockets than you, that has quicker, faster, stronger, just everything. It's not about that. It's about learning the car and really utilizing and get the most out of it. So that's what I wanted to do. So I wanted to, first of all, I just wanted to learn on the V6. Second reason why is, believe it or not, I daily drive my car. I've made videos on this in the past talking about the snow and ice and just using my car on a daily basis. So I figured getting the V6 might be a better option for right now, because of the gas mileage, because of well, driving it in the snow. This was my first time driving it in snow, which oddly enough this year we haven't had that much snow. Knock on anything that it stays that way, but we really haven't had that much snow. But I've done a whole video series talking about that. But I wanted to drive my car all year round, and I figured learning on the V6 might be better, especially when I'm going to be driving the manual transmission and just, doing the rear wheel drive. I thought the V6 might be a little bit easier to learn on when I'm driving in snow and driving around, doing a whole bunch of these different type of things. I thought maybe the V6 would be a better option. And then the third and final option is the price. Now, going into this, I knew that this wasn't going to be my end-all be-all car. I knew that. Down the line, I do want to upgrade. Now, the price came into a pretty big factor. It's actually funny. The dealership that I went to, they had a SS and they had my car. I believe the SS was the same year, or maybe it was a year newer, or they were pretty much around the same year. If you guys don't know, my car is a 2012. So I'm pretty sure it was either the SS was a 2012 or maybe a 2013. Cars were pretty similar. They were both black. I think the SS had the leather seats and it had the gauges down at the bottom. I know that you can get those on the RSs, which at the time I didn't know. I thought that was only exclusive on the SS, but I guess I've seen other RSs that do have those gauges down there. But yeah, it did not have the upgraded radio speaker system, but it was, so it's pretty much the same thing as my car, just had the V8 and the leather seats. So pretty much it's the same thing. Did not have a sunroof, and that was a manual transmission as well. I don't remember the exact number difference, but it was a pretty big significance in the number difference of what that car cost versus my car. And at the time, I didn't want to invest a ton of money into another vehicle. If you guys don't know,
before that comes in, that should be here Friday. Part of the grill, I'm going to be doing black. Then I'm going to be smoking out. My rear tail lights black.
So if you guys don't,
that's on the agenda for today. 3.8 liter V6. Not that powerful, but that's not what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at how to take off this.
Take on something that was going to be significantly much more expensive versus the V6, because when I first went to that dealership, I was looking at the SS, but then I started looking at the RS that I saw that was there. It looked pretty much the exact same, it has the same look, the same feel to it. Getting inside the car, it's pretty much the exact same thing. The only difference is obviously the V6 and didn't have the leather seats, and the price difference was significant. It was it was a pretty good price difference. I don't remember what it was offhand, but I do know it was it was a pretty good amount. You can look up car values now, see what an SS is worth versus a RS, and you'll see that it's a pretty big price difference. But I knew at the time I wanted to buy something that would make me happy and that I can enjoy. But looking at the SS and then looking at the RS, I was seeing that the aesthetic difference wasn't that much. They looked pretty much the same. Feeling when you're inside the car, they feel the same. It's just the big difference was the V8 versus the V6. And for most people who aren't car people, you look at an RS, you look at an SS, you look at a Z01 or Z28, they have no idea what the difference is. Honestly, they really don't. Surprisingly, so many people, they tell me all the time, nice car. Little do they know it's just a V6 Camaro, which me in the inside, I'm just like, don't be impressed by this. Please don't be impressed by this. It's really not that big of a deal at all. But people do still tell me nice car. So aesthetically, they look the same. So that kind of made me sway towards getting the V6. That was the first reason why I swayed towards getting the V6. And then the more I started thinking about it, I was thinking, well, financially it will make better sense, and down the line I can always upgrade, because I knew that whatever car I was going to get at that point in time wasn't going to be in my end-all be-all car. But eventually down the line, within a couple years, I'll get something different. Ultimately, the goal was to get the V6 and then pay it off, so you just don't have to worry about it. You can just have the car and just enjoy it for what it is. Also, I was able to work my sales agent down a pretty good amount from the asking price when I bought that car. It actually was kind of funny. I was looking at it. It was a Dodge Ram there too. I was just checking that thing out. I was just filling out the guy, but I was able to work the price down a pretty good amount. So I got a pretty good deal on the car. So it just made that extra little push. Like, yeah, this is probably the better deal for right now. Yeah, that's the reason why I chose to get that car. Let me know, guys, in the comment section. Would you have paid the extra amount and gotten the V8 over the V6? Would you have gone for a different type of car versus this? Let me know in the comment section. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this video, give me a like. Check out some of the other videos that I've done. I've done a lot of other videos on my car. So if you're interested in daily driving it or how it handles in snow, you know, the pros and cons of owning a Camaro, then check out my channel. I also have a lot of other videos on motorcycles and a whole bunch of other stuff like that. So check out my channel, and thanks guys. See ya.